between the Mets and Dodgers this year. It has not helped the Mets' cause. They're 0-5 against the Dodgers. There's the Hyundai starting lineup for LA. Only really one change. That's the catcher, Eliezer Alfonso, makes just his 6th major league start. That's Edgardo Alfonso's cousin, you know.
Oh, we didn't know that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Really? Well, there's one issue. Ohtani's got some good numbers against Peralta, and I would say, as you look at his Toyota numbers, the key for Peralta in this game, on this day, is he's going to have to be uber aggressive in the strike zone, at least the first time through the lineup. Make this ball club swing the bat, because if he doesn't, they will work his pitch count.
And your Genesis Metropolitan defense, Taylor gets the start out in left field. Robert does not get the start today. Ewing in a familiar role in center field, and Brett Beatty's got to feel good about going to a familiar position for him at second base.
Ohtani was supposed to throw a bullpen session here yesterday, trying to prepare him to go back to the mound, but turns out after his last bullpen session, his knee started acting up again, so they skipped it, which leaves a big question as to when or if Ohtani's going to go back to pitching.
Ohtani kind of does his own thing. So the last time he did throw on the side, no one knew about it till about halfway through, and they started running out to check him, and that's where he might have had the knee issue.
He's got a nice number, doesn't he?
Now, the Mets already got swept in the season series by the Cubs this year. They also had one-off series that they got swept against the A's and the Red Sox, trying to avoid getting swept in the season series by the Dodgers for only the 2nd time. The Dodgers never did it back in the early 60s when they were dominating the Mets. The only time they swept the season series from the Mets was in 2017.
Dave Roberts.
13 straight postseason appearances, and on their way to a 14th, trying for a 3rd straight title. First pitch by Peralta, swung and missed by Ohtani, and we're underway. Ohtani 2 for 9 in this series. Earlier this month, reached 300 home runs for his major league career, 5th fastest ever to 300 home runs, and the other guys on that list, they didn't pitch. Aaron Judge, Ralph Kiner, Ryan Howard, Juan Gonzalez. Nobody talks about Juan Gonzalez. Curveball drilled toward the gap in right center field, and Ohtani's got a base hit. Ewing cuts it off deep. Ohtani trying for 2. The throw to second is too late, and Ohtani has a leadoff double.
He smelled that double, never hesitated, rounding first. Plays in front of him. Now, if it's a left-handed center fielder, you might think twice, because he can throw going to his left, not have to turn his body like Ewing had to, being a right-handed thrower.
I try to remind people, a 6'4", 215-pound athlete picking it up and putting it down.
Now, he had a double in the first game of the series, got thrown out trying to stretch it into a triple. Here's Andy Pages taking inside. When he runs, there's no evidence that there's anything wrong with his knee.
It certainly didn't look like it to me, Gare.
Pages 2 for 7 in this series, and he breaks his back, grounds it to Bichette as the barrel goes flying by. Bichette checks Ohtani and throws out Pages for the first out. The barrel wound up in short left field.
Yeah, that's serious saw off. That is firewood now. Doesn't advance the runner.
And that ball, that bat, when it went in the outfield, Ohtani put his right arm up, like just to make sure he would block it if it was coming his way.
Now Freddie Freeman, who had another 3-hit game yesterday. 3 straight 3-hit games for Freddie.
Wow.
The last Dodger to have 4 straight, Ted Sizemore in 1970.
Really?
Yeah.
That was Ted's rookie year then. He was rookie of the year in 70. He was in that Richie Allen trade. The Cardinals traded Richie Allen to the Dodgers for Ted.
Freeman 6 for 8 in this series. Now 2,546 hits for his career, the most of any active player.
those threefers, he got his average up to 299. He's ready to vault into the 300 stratosphere.
Has not been over 300 all season. One more hit, and he will be.
He's really, I think, one of the top 3 hitters in baseball today.
Still, at age 36?
Look at it. He can hit. I've watched him on TV, Garrett, the last 2 days. He has an idea. Doesn't try to hit the ball where it's pitched. Ronnie, you mentioned that his BP. He works the opposite field. He doesn't try to hit home runs. He don't count.
He has the quietest feet in the game. Quick hands, quiet feet.
2-2 from Peralta, and he misses up and away. By the way, Keith, you sound a little husky, but certainly 1,000,000% better than you did Friday when we sent you home.
Well, there was an old country western singer called Ferlin Husky.
I was thinking Butch Husky myself. 3-2 coming, and it's foul back.
I mean, the first day we were talking about, you sounded like Harvey Firestein.
Oh, I was not feeling good. And to thank God for Z-Paks, the antibiotic. I know a lot of people don't like them, but I tell you what, I get pneumonia real easy, and that just stops it right there. And I'm back.
We're happy you're back.
You're more like Brenda Vaccaro now.
Oh, what?
I was going to say Bonnie Tyler since she just, passed away, but I mean, it's good you're back because we're still down a man here.
I know we were talking.
Our buddy Russ Relkin, our stage manager, is still out, and we needed more of a whole crew.
I've texted Russ the last couple days.
8th pitch coming to Freeman, and he fouls it off.
So Ronnie and I were talking. I used to get bad sinus infections that would last a week when I played. There was no Z-Pak back in those days, and I suffered for 7 games. With the congestion, bad and sinus infection.
I bet your teammates suffered even more.
Well, I used to put 2 sanitary socks in my back pocket to blow my horn during the game, and if I'd have had Z-Pak, I never would have had that issue. I mean, it might have added 10 points to my batting average.
I've got a real question. Freeman fouls off another one. So he's got Sannies in his back pocket, blowing his nose, and you're taking throws from him at first base.
Not only that. I mean, he's got a very prodigious Roman nose. It would make a big sound.
11th pitch of the at bat, and the breaking ball dribbled out towards second. And Beatty makes the play, and Peralta wins that battle against Freeman for the second out as Ohtani goes to third. I mean, with your germophobia, I can't even imagine that you want to catch the throw.
You wouldn't want to see the stuff that came out of my nose either.
Well, I think now we're getting to the TMI stage. 2 out. Here's Max Muncy. Muncy 0 for 4 last night after sitting the first game of the series. We're in the blue blockers just like Heath used to.
Yes.
Swinging a miss with an up and in fastball. That's where Peralta has been successful throughout his career. This year it's the other stuff, the breaking balls and the changeups that have been smoked. Max Muncy earlier this week hit his 229th home run as a Dodger, now in 5th place all time. Whittling just Duke Snyder, Gil Hodges, Eric Karros, and Roy Campanella.
You know, it's funny. It's one of the great pickups through trade that the Dodgers got Muncy over from Oakland, correct?
Yep.
And, he doesn't have the body of a ball player, but he's a heck of a player.
Heck of a hitter.
He's cut down his strikeouts this year. Still draws a lot of walks, 353 on base percentage. And he hits home runs. Curveball swung and missed. Nice one by Peralta, 2-2. Ready, just looking for something good. Gave up 7 runs and 5 1/3, couple of home runs in his return to Milwaukee on Monday. Looking to strand Ohtani at third with 2 out. And Muncy watches the curveball down 3-2.
Good eye.
Malachi Moore is the home plate umpire today.
Sorry, Gary, because of the Freeman at bat now, this will be the 22nd pitch for Peralta in this inning.
Every start this year, he's had at least 1 inning of 20 or more. 41 straight starts now. It's the longest streak in the majors. That curveball's hit deep down the right field line, hooking toward the pole and foul. Not by much.
Oh boy, that was a hanging breaking ball. I knew he was going to try to throw that hook on the outside corner, and he got it inner half up.
Did that go over the pole?
I believe so.
I mean, the poles are short here, but it was clearly foul.
Yeah, it was definitely foul, but it gets a little dicey when it goes over the pole.
Something we were talking about since they opened this ballpark 17 years ago. They need to make the foul poles higher. Again, the 3-2 to Muncy, and he misses low ball 4 on the 3-2 changeup. And the Dodgers have runners at first and third. This is a Dodger team that does not chase. Second lowest chase rate in the majors. They don't chase, and they hit fly balls.
And
a lot of them go out of the ballpark.
And they hit in the clutch.
There's Mookie Betts, 2 for 8 in this series. Mookie's just 1 for 11 in his career against Peralta, and 1 was a home run. This has not been his best offensive year, but it's been his best defensive year at shortstop. It's kind of like Mookie Betts is morphing into Mark Belanger.
The blade.
Oh.
No, I mean he's still a potent threat. He drives this one out to left. Coming toward the line is Taylor, and he runs it down to retire the side. So Peralta gets around some traffic in the first, and the Mets come to bat with no. So far, struck out a couple of times yesterday. Well, to get things started in your Honda Mets starting lineup, every available left-handed bat in there. No Soto, he's on the injured list, but Tyrone Taylor, one of the few righties in there. He has been smoking hot since coming off the injured list. And New York native Emmett Sheehan pitches in New York for the first time in his career.
Yeah, he's got an outstanding slider. You see his numbers so far this season. But the Dodgers, in his last 8 starts, their record is 1-7. You'll see a lot of sliders.
Ewing hitless in his last 11 at bats as he leads off against Sheehan. Did you just tip his helmet? Or was he just adjusting it?
Adjusting.
That was odd.
Well, you think he was going for the ABS before a pitch was thrown?
Well, you know, you're supposed to engage the pitcher. Unless you're Jose Caballero. Then you get in trouble.
Yes.
And Sheehan fires a fastball for a strike, 1-1. Ewing, Lindor, and Bichette for the Mets in the opening inning. And Sheehan making his 19th start of the year. And a fly ball out to center. Pages coming on quickly, and he can't get it. It lands behind him, and Ewing winds up at second with a bloop double. Pages' first step was back. He came in as fast as he could, but couldn't get there, and Ewing has himself a 2-base hit.
Boy, that ball had a lot of hang time, too. Wow. Look at the top of your screen, see if you can get the break. Just kind of broke left. A long way to run.
That was an interesting ball to break back because Ewing was out on his front foot. It wasn't a full swing.
So Ohtani had a leadoff double for the Dodgers. Now Ewing a leadoff double for the Mets. And here's Francisco Lindor, 0 for 7 in this series. He bluffs a bunt and takes one at his feet for ball 1. Mets have played 5 games against the Dodgers this year. The Dodgers have won them all. The Mets have scored a total of 8 runs in the 5 games. Dodgers staff has given up the fewest hits of any pitching staff in the National League. Second best ERA. And again Lindor's bunting, and this one goes foul. So he is serious about trying to sacrifice in the first inning.
In honor of Carlos Beltran.
Yeah.
And the Car Shield Dodger defense. And as Gary mentioned, Eliezer, I love that name, Alfonso, behind the plate, catching Muncy at third base. Look at all that gold at short. Over there, the gold at first, even in right field. All over the place. Lots of gold.
Fly ball foul. Well, you got a Gold Glove right fielder at shortstop.
I think we should have, instead of the Gold Gloves and All-Star Gold, we should just paint their faces gold, like Goldfinger.
Fit right in after their trip to the White House. By the way, Lindor's last sacrifice bunt was 2021, his first year as a Met. I think that might have been a Carlos Beltran tribute.
Maybe.
You know, they're close.
Right?
Fellow Puerto Rican going to the Hall of Fame today, wearing his Mets cap. And it's poked to the right center, a base hit for Lindor. Ewing around third, he'll score easily. Lindor reaching out and flicking one into right center for an RBI single, on the Mets have a 1-0 lead.
Well, he stayed back, kept his hands back. Change up in a good spot. Had to let go with one hand, and you're right there. Great description. He just flipped it out.
It's kind of like the ball Ohtani hit 2 nights ago, right?
Down the right field line.
So the Mets, 2 batters in, have a run, and here's Bo Bichette, 2 for 9 in this series. And Sheehan misses high, ball 1. So a rough beginning for Sheehan in his first outing in New York. Born in the city, grew up in Connecticut. Went to the Salisbury School for high school and then on to Boston College. That's grounded toward the hole, and Bichette's got a base hit. So 3 straight hits for the Mets to start the bottom of the first.
Slider. Just left it over the middle too much. That's the ball that Bichette pulls, that hanging breaking ball. He gets the barrel out consistently. But Bichette primarily, we've seen him enough all year long, and you folks at home, he likes to shoot the opposite field.
Now Carson Bench, 1 for 8 in the first 2 games of the series. Still nobody out. Lindor at second, Bichette at first. By the way, if you're wondering about the Dodger caps, they are Brooklyn Superbas hats from the 19 teams on Hall of Fame weekend.
They weren't very superb, were they?
No, they weren't.
Stunk.
But it's a nice looking hat.
Yes, I agree.
I like how the baselines cross.
Look like a Mason. Good.
And Sheehan really struggling early in this one, behind 2-0. His last start against the Phillies on Monday gave up 6 runs in 5 1/3, couple of home runs. Dodgers are waiting for some of their troops to return. Guys like Blake Snell and Tyler Glass now on the injured list. Ohtani not starting right now. They've been really fortunate to get a better than expected performance out of Justin Wroblewski this year, which has really helped solidify their rotation with all the injuries.
Boy, he had an all-star first half. I mean, geez.
Started with that start against the Mets at Dodger Stadium.
2-1 to Bench. And the fastball inside, and now it's 3-1. Jorge Polanco, the on-deck batter. Sheehan first came up in 2023, had Tommy John surgery the next year, missed all of 24, came out back mid-season last year. Bench pops one up into shallow left. Out goes Betts, in comes Hernandez, and Teoscar's got it for the first out. When Sheehan came back last year, he was really good at a 2.82 ERA. And then in the postseason, he had some really rough outings early and then 2 great ones in the World Series.
Yeah, and what has really hurt him this year, much like Sasaki, that's the reason their ERA is so high. 17 home runs in a little over 88 innings now.
Wow, check the glasses out on Polanco. Looks like a sci-fi scientist.
Hey, whatever works right now. Jorge can't buy a hit. Takes a curveball for a strike. He's 4 for 35 in the 10 games since coming off the injured list.
And it has been a struggle. And he hit that one ball hard, and a beautiful play in Milwaukee by Terang. You just can't catch a break when you're going bad, it seems.
That last out of the game in that final game of the series. Well, with Soto down for a significant period of time, everybody else is going to get a chance to play more. Soto had been clogging up the DH spot as he was trying to work through the calf injury. Now that's Polanco's on most days.
It's very frustrating to be hurt and have to watch. Missed a lot with that fastball up way up high, Ronnie.
I was saying before that he throws a slider a lot. It seems to be one of those pitchers that has better command of his slider than he does of his fastball.
Jared Young, the on deck batter. 2 on and 1 out. And Polanco takes a changeup down, and it's 3-1. So Sheehan getting behind just about every hitter. The only guy got ahead of was Lindor, and he was able to go out of the strike zone and get a base hit. Now Polanco in an advantageous spot. And he pops it up on the infield. Infield fly rule will be called. And Betts squeezes it 2 out. And Polanco unable to capitalize on a 3-1 pitch. And now Jared Young, who has really been hot with the bat. Over his last 14 games, he's hitting .368 with a 10.08 OPS.
He's an aggressive hitter. He's got a fast bat. He's very strong. I've liked him the day I saw him in spring training.
And a couple of hits in the opening game of this series. Sat yesterday. And takes curveball inside for ball 1.
It's funny, he holds his hands though, Keith, pretty low.
A lot of hitters,
the pitches are about to come.
A lot of hitters hold their hands real high today. He's around letter high.
Yeah, maybe that's my point. My point is that it's not that low, but it seems very low compared to how most people put their hands.
I used to hold my hands at the letters. I never wanted to get them higher than my letters.
Lindor at second, Bichette at first with 2 down. Young takes that changeup down, 2 balls and a strike.
Did you keep your hands at your letters, knowing that anything that was above your hands was a ball?
No, just where I was
comfortable.
That's where my dad told me to hold my hands when I was a kid, and I wasn't going to say no to my dad.
What would have happened if you'd said no to your dad?
Like, I find you're very rebellious in nature. No. You weren't rebellious then?
Not with Juan.
Okay.
No.
So you had to repress a lot of your rebelliousness as a kid.
Hail Caesar.
23rd pitch of the inning for Sheehan. And Young lays off. That's a strike. And he's going to challenge it.
He's going to lose the challenge. It's a strike. It's a wicked changeup. Right where the catcher wanted it. Down and away.
Call confirmed. New York has 1 challenge remaining.
Yes, powered by T-Mobile. So the Mets, who were out of challenges early again last night, lose one of the first innings today. 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 to Young. And he bloops one on the left side of the infield. Easy for Muncy. And that retires the side. So Sheehan limits the decks. Second inning, Tommy Edman takes a fast strike from Freddie Peralta. Edman, who was red hot coming into this series, 0 for 8 the first 2 games. Still getting his feet wet, just his 25th start coming back from off-season ankle surgery.
That's another great pickup by the Dodgers when they got him from the Cardinals.
MVP of the league championship series against the Mets 2 years ago.
What did you say in Friday night's game? 11 hits and 11 RBI in that series?
6-game series, yeah. Pretty good, right?
Oh, my.
Well, you remember how that series went.
Yeah.
I mean, the Dodgers, the games they won handily. And the games the Mets won, Dave Roberts threw out his B and C relievers and stocked up for the next day.
I mean, it was like he read the room early in the game, and if they were out of it, they kind of kicked that game away for the next game.
Cal Tucker on deck, and then Teoscar Hernandez for the Dodgers in the second. And fouls off a fastball. Freddie's been very fastball heavy early in this game. You can understand why. I mean, that's his bread and butter, and it's really the only effective pitch he's had over the course of the season.
I think that he has had the pitch this year, and we've documented some of the things that have changed. With his fastball being put into play or fouled off, which, especially the fouling off, has made him go to his secondary pitches, which have not proved as successful. There was more swing and a miss against his fastball in his game prior to this year.
Well, the OPS against his breaking balls is the 6th highest in the majors, and the OPS against his changeup is the 2nd highest in the majors. And Edman goes down swinging on the fastball. 8th pitch at bat, and Peralta's got his first strikeout. So 1 out and nobody on. Now Kyle Tucker, who was in a home run drought when he arrived in Flushing. No more.
Got some good numbers against Freddie, too.
5 hits and 11 career at bats against Peralta.
That's where Freddie gets in trouble, Ron. He just gets arm side high to left-hand hitters. I like that term, arm side.
And the breaking ball popped up on the infield, and Bichette looking through the sunglasses. 2 out. When you talk about leaving the ball up arm side, we've had a lot of conversation about Freddie's extension not being as great. Are those two things related?
Yeah, that's a good question, Gary. I think what happens is that when you're trying to get down the mound, now extension is your ability to get a long stride, which means the ball's being delivered closer to the plate than a normal pitcher. So perceived velocity is faster. It almost tricks your eyes that it gets on you quicker than it does from a normal strided pitcher. But when you're not getting down the mound, you start to push yourself down that mound, try to push off of that back foot, which opens the front shoulder. If your front shoulder opens, you're going to end up high to the left-handed hitter.
On a strike to Teoscar Hernandez, who's 3 for 7 with a couple of doubles in this series.
I was always told you have to take that left shoulder and you have to get it right through the catcher. The left shoulder has to go right to the catcher's glove. Like you're going to throw your shoulder right through his body.
When we talk about his extension, and I'm sure there are metrics for this, but I haven't seen them. Is his stride shorter than it was before?
Yeah, it is shorter. Now, you know, as he tried to change, sometimes you shorten your stride to make your breaking pitches more effective, right? So maybe that was a move that he made. But like you said, Gary, his bread and butter is that number 1. And establishing that again will go a long way for him coming back.
That fastball drilled into left center. Cut off by Taylor. Heading to second is Hernandez, and he goes in standing, and he's out. Oh, gosh. Teoscar Hernandez blundering into an out at second base by failing the slide. And that retires the side.
And he would have been safe. If he nipped his toe, he's out. Did he get him? He missed him there. He's safe.
Dodgers do not challenge the call, though. Inning over.
I mean, he has to go so far to his left. He almost throws this blindly while spinning around. Most amazing play by an outfielder to not only spin like that, get to the ball, have something on it, and be a perfect throw.
Now, the fact of the matter is that Teoscar appeared to be safe at second base, but the Dodgers did not challenge the call.
I mean, I was saying this in the break. I have no idea if this is what happened. But if you're Dave Roberts and you're 29 games over 500, you want to teach a lesson, I'm not going to challenge that, even though you're safe, because that tells everyone else we should be sliding. Who knows?
Well, the play was right in front of him, so there's really no excuse.
And as happens 1/9 of the time, the guy makes the great play in the field, leads off the next inning.
Very good. You know what? You are spot on with your mathematics.
Taylor's been red hot with the bat since coming back from the injured list. 4 doubles and 4 home runs. He had the big hit last night for the Mets. A pinch hit double in the 8th inning that got them within a run. And then picks up his second outfield assist of the season. Mets have had 12 this year. Carson Bench had 2 on Friday night by himself. And that one, Nick Taylor, and he'll go to first base. Taylor continues to find his way on base by any means possible.
And the one prior almost hit him. That just caught his shirt or the equipment as it went by. Kind of a slider that didn't slide.
7th batter Emmett Sheehan is in this year, so the Mets have the leadoff man on for a second straight inning.
So you've got a starting pitcher right now who had a rough first inning and getting off to a rocky start in the second. You want to not let him get his rhythm. Take it to him. When a pitcher's struggling getting the ball over the plate, you're going to get a fat one if he falls behind or first pitch trying to get ahead of you.
Should they try and push the envelope by running as well?
Sure. Why not?
Taylor looked frisky on the first pitch, not running, and a strike to Beatty, who went around.
Okay.
It's Barrett with the call at third.
So Alonso getting a rare start behind the plate, so might make sense to run.
He got tied up there. That ball was by him.
Reds 1 for 3 in this series.
Beautiful day, huh? Late August, July, almost August. Beautiful day.
82 degrees, partly cloudy skies, nice little breeze. Perfect. Taylor runnerish, and he runs, and Brady pulls it foul and broke his bat in the process. Taylor was dancing off that entire sequence and took off on the 0-2 pitch.
You know, I think the pitchers, the defense at least, has gotten better at handling that dancing off first base, because the catchers now have been dropping their glove to signify to the pitcher, hey, throw over there. He's too far off the bag.
Also, as a first baseman, you're talking about vocal commands. It's just like step off, yell.
Yeah.
When Taylor got out there in no man's land, step off. Pitcher needs a command because he's so focused on home. He'll react to the step off call.
Beatty back with a new bat. And Brick goes down on the high fastball for the first out of the inning. First strikeout for Sheehan. He's averaged 10.2 strikeouts per 9 this year.
Well, Brett chased the high one out of the strike zone.
So we spent some time talking about Freddie Peralta and his life upstairs. Sheehan, when he does throw a fastball, it tends to be up in the zone. 3 pop-outs in the first inning.
And his velocity is about the same as Freddie's. Neither one of them is going to, pop the radar gun at over 95 consistently, but they both have good life upstairs.
Freddie, when he gets mad, will get it up to 98, 99 occasionally.
And Torrens, we know, much like Bichette, uses that opposite field, and the Dodgers playing Edman at second base, way up the middle. Big hole in that right side.
Sheehan works him away with a slider, got a called strike. 0-1. Torrens 4 for 8 in his last 2 starts, and the #1 catcher in baseball in defensive runs saved. He has been a huge asset. There's been talk about the Mets potentially trading a catcher at the deadline. I don't see it.
Yeah.
I don't really get that conversation. They've got a young, offensive-oriented catcher in Alvarez, and a player under control for the next 2 years who's a great defensive catcher in Torrens. I don't know why you'd mess with that. Long hold by Sheehan using the pitch clock.
Oh,
And a foul tip is what Alonso is arguing.
I thought it was a strike too.
But it would call the ball and not a foul tip. Alfonso, the catcher, thought it came off Torrens's bat.
He's got a decent changeup, Ronnie. If he gets it, throws it in the right spot, if he can command it.
And Torrens flies one out to right. Should be easy for Tucker in the sunshine. 2 out.
Here's a thought for you, Gary. Dodgers who seem to get everything they want. If they believe Will Smith neck injury is really serious, Torrens might fit nicely with rushing with this pitching staff.
Well, one prominent catcher came off the board today. Shea Langoliers of the A's has a torn meniscus, and it looks like he's going to be out for the season. He would have been a huge piece for somebody to pick up with two-way catcher.
Dodgers may want Alvarez, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Here's Ewing, who had a pop fly double and scored his first time up, and he takes the changeup for ball 1. Well, the trading deadline is 8 days away, and when the Mets arrive in Cleveland on August 4th, there's no telling who's going to be in the Mets clubhouse and who will not be. This guy will be there. Carson Benj will be there.
Oh, yeah.
Nolan McLean and Christian Scott and Zach Thornton will be there. Other than that, who knows?
I wouldn't want to unload Torrens. I think he's too valuable.
No, it's not bad. I like it.
I think the situation that the Mets are in with a lot of their assets, as Taylor again dancing off first, and this time Sheehan steps up, is that there are so few sellers right now that the prices could be really high and they could cash in a seller's market.
Correct. A lot of teams are still in the hunt.
Doesn't mean you have to sell, but you certainly have to listen. Line the other way by Ewing. Hernandez isn't lined up, and that retires the side. After 2, 158, along with Carlos Beltran, Jeff Kent, and Andre Jones are going into the Hall of Fame today in Cooperstown.
Congratulations.
Jeff spent 5 years with the Mets right near the start of his career. Started in Toronto, came here in the David Cohn trade.
Right.
Was a burgeoning star, but never really reached stardom until 2 teams later. He went from here to Cleveland and then to San Francisco. And it was as a Giant that he really blossomed.
Yes.
You saw some of the markings, though, right, of being a good player when he was here?
Did he hit in front of Barry or in behind Barry? I forget.
Behind.
Behind
He hit
Barry?
behind, or really a hit in front of him.
Yeah.
And Kent hit behind him. And that's why Kent had 8 years of 100 RBIs, because Barry was
On base a lot,
base,
yes.
yeah.
Of course. Of course.
Eliezer Alfonso, the rookie catcher, whose dad played in the big leagues, also named Eliezer Alfonso. He was with the Giants as a rookie in 2006. His dad hit 12 home runs, but he never really replicated that. Stayed around for a few more years. Padres, Mariners. And now young Eliezer hits one toward the right field line. Long run for Benj, and it lands a fair ball. It goes out of play. A ground rule double for Alfonso. Just his 3rd big league hit.
Must have got that towards the end.
I think he got it towards the end.
Yes, he did. A little bit too quick. Otherwise, able to launch that one.
It's one of those, if you get it off the end, you don't hit it well, it stays fair because it doesn't hook because you get it off the end of the bat.
Second time the Dodgers have had a leadoff double. First one belonged to Ohtani, who steps in now. Walter was able to work around that 2-base hit. And Ohtani takes up in the end and stopped the swing in time. Ball 1.
Ohtani holds his hands real high and holds his bat vertical.
Peralta did not face the Dodgers when the Mets were in LA in April. He did face them last October in the National League Championship Series. He pitched Game 2 against Yamamoto, which was the wrong day to pitch. Gave up 3 runs in 5 2/3, and Yamamoto pitched a complete game.
Well, the Dodgers just put the snuff in on the Brewers in that series.
Remember game 4 of that series to finish it off. Ohtani struck out 10 in 6 innings and hit 3 home runs in the game.
It's good. It's a good game.
Yeah, solid.
It's like Little League.
Yep, it is.
Reaches for a pitch well up out of the strike zone and fouls it back.
He's always looking to hit the ball out of the ballpark. He's at that open stance. He flies open. And he wants that ball. He wants that ball outer half in, preferably down.
And Peralta gets him up with a high fastball. And that's his second strikeout.
All upstairs gas.
This one is one of the highest fastballs I've ever seen anyone swing at.
Yeah, it was eye level.
He didn't want to swing. Oh, he broke down. He completely broke down. He got beat him big time. Put something extra on that heat.
Now Pages pops up the breaking ball. Torrens might have a play right to the railing, but lands in the second row. Well, we are here watching the game today, but a lot of the Mets personnel have made their way up to Cooperstown to be with Carlos Beltran on his big day. Steve Cohen, the Mets owner, is there. So is David Stearns. So is Jay Horwitz. John Ricco. They all made the trip up to Cooperstown. Slider by Peralta, 0-2.
I wasn't kidding when I said in the opening. I wish that baseball had a day off on Hall of Fame Day so you could go out and watch it.
I have always said that, and I just don't understand why there's such reluctance. I mean, you've got all 30 teams playing today, so most people who are working in baseball don't have a chance to enjoy the ceremony.
If it's World Cup, we'll take Fridays off. I mean, come on.
And they even get a hydration break.
I mean, I heard John Smoltz say on the telecast last night that he was in Cooperstown Friday and Saturday morning, drove down to do the game last night, and then drove back after the game just to be there for the ceremony today. When you work one day a week, you can do that.
Well, what John didn't tell you is he wanted to get 18 in Cooperstown before he came to the game last night.
Pages 0 for 8 in his career against Peralta. Down on the count, 1-2. That fastball a little high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pages got off to a phenomenal start this year. He's come back to earth a little bit, but still having a fine season. Started in center field for the National League in the All-Star game. Freddie Freeman waiting on deck. (3-2) inside, ball 4, and so Pages is on base. Second walk for Peralta, and Freeman will bat with 2 men on.
So let's see. He got Freddie to got in his kitchen is long at bat. His first time, got him to ground out to second. Let's see how this battle transpires.
11 pitches that first time around.
Again, Lindor right up the middle. Shortstop position vacant.
I'll say, very inviting.
And first pitch fastball outside. So Freddie's had 3 straight 3-hit games. Do you know the record is 6 straight 3-hit games?
Wow.
Really?
It's been done twice.
Jeez.
Jimmy Johnston for the 1923 Brooklyn Dodgers had 6 straight games with 3 or more hits, and the only other guy to do it, George Brett, 1976.
Can you imagine that? 18 hits. Oof, in 6 days. Sweet.
I'll carry you for the rest of the month.
That's right. How did you do last week? I had 18 hits.
Gosh, that's on fire. That's when you just rub up against them. Give me some of those hits.
No Dodger has had 3 3-hit games in the same series against the Mets ever. The last to do it was Anthony Rendon in 2014. 3 hits in 3 games against the Mets in the same series.
Nationals.
Yeah.
That's when he was at the top of his game.
He was great when he was great. Earned himself a lot of money from the Angels.
Yes, he just fell off a cliff.
Well,
Lost interest.
tomahawk down the right field line, and that'll go foul.
Boy, that's how fast Freddie is. That was an up and in fastball out of the strike zone. Oh. He's just so quick.
Freddie got Ohtani to chase upstairs. Comes after Freeman with a fastball away that's fouled.
So 11 pitch at bat first. What is this, a 6-7 pitch at bat?
6 so far. Well, he already had a 25 pitch first inning, and now Freddie's thrown 23 pitches in this inning. It's probably been the story of his season. Breaking ball drilled down the left field line by Freeman, and he's got himself a base hit. It's bouncing around in the corner. Alfonso scores. Pages will be held at third. So Freddie Freeman, with his 7th hit in 10 at-bats in this series, an RBI double, ties the game at 1.
I just knew he'd work the opposite field. I mean, that is a terrific at bat. It's a backdoor slider, and that is a pitcher's pitch right there. That ball started out of the strike zone and crept back into the outside corner, and Freddie did not quit on it. Your initial reaction is you want to quit on that pitch.
But Keith, you talk all the time about waiting on the breaking ball. That's about as good an example as you're going to ever see.
That's just a quality at bat, and well done by Taylor to prevent this from being a 2 RBI double.
I'm surprised he doesn't have hip issues. How many times he has to do this whirly bird twirl.
But he wasn't running very good the first night. You know, when he ran first to third, you could tell Freddie was hurting a bit.
Stole the base, though.
And then he snuck one, didn't he? That's a cagey veteran.
27th double of the year for Freeman, who came into the day 3rd in the National League in doubles. So now a big spot for Peralta. It's been a hard-working inning already. 2nd and 3rd and 1 out. The infield is staying back. You can see the go-ahead run.
We see a lot of that from Andy Green since he's taken over. Where with Mendy and a lot of managers in around the game predominantly bring the infield in, but you know, bring it in 2nd and 3rd, base hit, it's a 3-1 ball game.
Muncy swings and misses at a fastball, and it's 1-1. Baxter will walk his first time up.
So Muncy's been chasing that high hard one. He did the first at bat. He's got to lay off that high one.
But he was on the breaking ball.
And the breaking ball pulled to second. That'll get a run in. So Muncy able to make contact and bring in Pages, and the Dodgers go in front 2-1.
Now, if that infield was in, Gary, that might get through for a base hit. You got a lot of game left. I know the Mets are not scoring runs, haven't scored runs all year. But I always believe you got 7 more cracks up against the Dodgers. You're down a run. You can't get a run, then tip your hat to the pitcher, or else you just had a bad day.
But when you play the infield back and you concede the run, then you have to get this out with 2 outs. You have to. It's a backbreaker.
The 2-out RBI always is.
Yes, it is.
Betts takes up and away, a ball and a strike. Well, this is going to be the 30th pitch of the inning for Peralta. And the 70th pitch of the game coming in the 3rd. Now a fly ball out to center. Ewing started back, now ambling in. And overcomes Binge to make the catch, and that retires the side. Dodgers get 2 and lead. Home 3rd inning. Francisco Lindor leads off against Evan Sheehan, who's been supplied with a 2-1 lead. Lindor had a base hit to right center, driving the Mets' only run in the first. Mets had a chance to tack on with first and second and nobody out, but Shane got through that, worked around a leadoff base runner in the second, and then the Dodgers scratched out a couple of runs for him in the third. Dave Roberts said before the series his team needed to be better at playing small ball. I think they've done that in this series.
But they had 2 runs scored by a sacrifice fly in game 1.
Score big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, visit MLBshop.com/Mets, the official source for your Mets gear.
You know, I like the fact that Dave Roberts challenges his team, and you know they win today. They go 30 over 500, and you know what? Strive for excellence and perfection. Still can be better. I like that kind of push from the manager.
The ball popped up into shallow left, and right there is Hernandez. When you're a team that has won the World Series twice in a row and aspired to do it again, and you know how grueling October is, and you've got a huge lead, how do you balance what you're talking about, going for regular season excellence, with just being ready in October?
I think as long as you're in the lineup, you go out there and try to be the best that you can be and do the things that got you to 30 over 500. All the little things, Gary. And this team just didn't slug its way to 29 over 500. They've done the little things. We've seen it in this series. So it's up to the manager to make the lineup. He can afford to give his veterans rest with a big lead from time to time. That's the advantage of having the big lead.
Bichette hits one softly to Betts, throwing on the run, 2 out.
He's got a lot of help, though. You know, his 2 best players in the infield, Betts and Freeman, attention to detail, work ethic, prioritize defense, take the extra base. You know, they're showing each and every day by their actions how to play this game. That helps all of your young players. It helps all of your players.
There's Carson Bench with 2 out, and he takes curveball for a strike.
So Sheehan's got a little late break on that breaking ball, Ronnie. It's a little sharp breaker.
Doesn't quite have Nolan McLean's spin, but it's still a high spin rate curveball.
He had to rush his motion there. I think the clock was running out on him.
Speaking of McLean, I know he didn't get over to cover first base on the double play, but I thought he was really good last night.
Oh, he was great. There were a couple of things that worked. You know, one of the runs scored on a ball that should have been caught by Alvarez. He is right in the middle, whether we like it or not. And we're not going to see results in the win column as much because how the Mets are playing. But he's right in the middle now. What does he have? 10 straight starts, 6 innings or more of really finding his groove.
Yeah, there was a period in May when he was struggling, especially with command of his breaking stuff. But I think he's refined himself where he's throwing more fastballs now and trusting that his sinker and four-seamer can get him a lot of outs.
And I do think when in May, Gary, that he's simplified what he's doing on the mound since May. I think May he was a jack of all trades. Now he is a master of his 3 or 4 pitches. And those other pitches, if you're having a long effort, 6, 7, 8 innings, then you can incorporate those pitches as well.
It's funny that you mentioned that. Well, here's last night. He's got the spin.
I mean, the breaking ball he threw to Muncy was almost unfair.
And that front door sinker is something we have not seen a lot of.
His best start in April, he had that front door sinker working. That's a pitch that comes last, and once he refines that, you're going to see the 10-plus strikeout games.
Where a lot of right-handers have the four-seam fastball to throw inside to get a left-hand hitter. Ball forward to bench. A straight dart to go with that sinker to sneak it by the left-hand hitter. He's got the one that starts almost at the hip and freezes the left-hand hitter.
I call it the Maddox. The ability to throw that cutter in on lefties, so it presents a strike and comes in and jams you, and then you throw them at their hip, and they have no idea what to do because it's just they think that ball at your hip is going to come in more instead of bleeds back over the plate.
The X's on both sides of the plate.
There you go, Gare.
That's what Maddox did so brilliantly. He won 355 games without throwing 100. Polanco popped up his first time up. The walk for Sheehan was his first of the game. He's also hit a batter.
Keith, how'd you do against Maddox?
I didn't face him that much, but when I faced him, he was a Cub, and he didn't have the cutter.
Yeah, he's more of a hard sinker,
slider, and he didn't have the cutter then. Surprisingly, I took him deep. I don't remember.
Well, obviously you do remember.
Well, it's in my book.
Slider. Alfonso goes down and gets it, 2-1.
Now, when Keith says that, that's a baseball term. Hitters say they have a book. So if they've hit a home run off you, they tell you, you're in my book.
Only reason why I know, there's his wonderful Hall of Fame numbers. I mean, what a great pitcher, and a control pitcher, not overpowering, smart.
All I can say is it's a good thing he didn't have to face you all the time because you hit 400 against him.
But he wasn't the same pitcher then. He was young and like I said, hadn't developed the cutter. And the only reason why I know is because of the Elias Bureau, when I retired, gave me a printout of every pitcher that I faced.
Wow.
And top of the list was Carlton. So I was able to see what I hit off certain pitchers.
Top of the list, like average, or
bats.
Many at bats.
At bats.
I got it.
I had like 150 or 152 at bats against Carlton. Wow. That was the most.
Nobody's going to do that anymore with the balanced schedule. Full count to Polanco, so Benj will be on the move. Freeman's going to play behind him. And Polanco drills one down the line, but that's going to go foul.
So Carlton, who else did you face?
Guys I had over 100 bats, Nepper, Candelaria, all the division guys, because that was the Cardinals was Eastern Division. So
Rico,
I must have seen that same list because I faced in my career. Raines was number 1. And Sandberg, I think, was number 2, or they might have been reversed.
Again, the 3-2. And Polanco hits this one toward the gap in right center. Pius racing over, and he makes the running catch. He covered a lot of ground and took an extra base hit away from Polanco.
2-1 here in Queens in favor of the Dodgers as we head to the 4th inning. And guys, like most things in baseball nowadays, defensive positioning is done mostly using the extensive data at teams' fingertips, tendencies, the pitcher on the mound, and how their stuff figures against the hitter as Tommy Edman off the umpire. That's a fair ball, so he's got a leadoff base hit here in the 4th inning.
Sorry, Steve. Let me interrupt you 1 second. Get out of the way, ump. What? Jeez.
Help the Mets. Would have been a double without Alfonso Marquez getting in the way.
You good, Keith?
Go ahead.
You got that out of your system?
Yes, thanks.
So as I was saying, defensive positioning is done using a lot of data analytics, but I was somewhat surprised to learn that there's still very much a human element in game for how they defensively position the fielders. And so you'll see every time the Mets are in the field, Gilbert Gomez, who's the outfield coach, standing on the top step of the dugout. And what he is doing is actively trying to read the swings of the hitters during the at-bats, especially in 2-strike situations. They have a 2-strike approach, and he will, after individual pitches, if he feels like there's an adjustment that needs to be made, he will indicate to the outfielders where they need to move. Up to them if they ultimately want to do it, but oftentimes he will move the position of the outfielders based on what he is seeing in the at-bats.
It's knowing your hitters and your pitchers, what their game plan is.
Young off his glove, Peralta didn't cover, and everybody's safe. So a physical mistake by Young and a mental mistake by Peralta, and the Dodgers have 2 men on.
How are they going to roll that gap?
That's an E3.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
So, you know, for you young pitchers at home, just teach yourself one thing. Any ball hit to your left, if you're a right-handed player, any ball hit to your left, you have to start going to first. Every time. Not 99 times out of 100. Every time.
Hey, take me through the play with McClain last night. How come he didn't get over in time? Because it looked like he was busting it, but he just didn't make it.
Yeah, when I watched the game, I thought the same thing, and then in the replay, I didn't really see anything at all either. So I don't know if he got a late start, if he slipped, if he misread it, because you know he's one of the finest athletes you're going to have on the mound, and he probably runs as well as half of the players in the league. But you have to just teach yourself. I remember the ground balls would go to Tim Tuffle. I'd still be 2 steps on the way to the, just because with Keith, you never knew. He covered so much ground that he taught me that even the ball to the second baseman, sometimes he would snatch it up. So you had to be there.
Okay, Oscar Hernandez tried to take advantage. And he swings over a changeup. Good pitch by Peralta, 2-2. Did you ever throw changeups to right-hand batter?
No, I didn't really have a changeup. I tried my entire career to work on a changeup. I just could not develop one. I don't know
you
why.
Didn't need it with a split finger. You didn't need it. That was.
But in the minor leagues, I really worked hard on it. I just could not develop one.
But you threw the split to righties.
I did, yes.
Poked the other way by Hernandez. That's a base hit. They'll hold Edman at third, and the bases are loaded with nobody out. So a single off the umpire, an error on the first baseman, and now Hernandez with an opposite field hit. He's 2 for 2.
Well, the defense again is raising its ugly head, which we've seen enough of this season. And just seems like when you give the good teams the extra out, it's a cardinal sin.
So now bases loaded, nobody out. The Mets have to bring the infield in. Eliezer Alfonso had a double and scored a run in the third. And he lays off first pitch, change up, ball 1. Alfonso, 26 years old. Came up on the 4th of July. This is his 6th big league start. And he's picked up his 3rd major league hit, and he's in a great spot here ahead of the count 2-0 with the bases loaded.
Yeah, 2-0 fastball count here for Alfonso.
No doubt.
Ohtani looms on deck. Alfonso fouls off a sinker, it looked like. 2-1.
You know, that's just a situation right there. And I had a lengthy conversation with Oral Hershiser next door in the Dodger booth. There's the TV for the Dodgers. I mean, when you got fastballs, the safe zone for the pitchers when they're behind.
Ground ball flagged by Peralta, recovered by Bean. Gets an out at first, dropped by Young, but it's on the transfer. So it's an out, but Edman comes home to score to make it 3-1. 1-4-3 put out. He had a play at second, but I don't think he realized it.
Well, the ball's in the air. Runner's got to freeze.
And he got it with a second there.
But Hernandez ran back to the bag. He didn't have to run back to the bag. He just had to freeze.
And Young thought he might have time to get Hernandez, who was just jogging into second base. Ohtani chases a changeup for strike 1.
He did have a play. He definitely has a play at second. Oh boy.
Ohtani chasing 2 changeups and down to the count 0-2.
Remember, he struck out on a heavy dose of high fastballs his last at bat. Came up looking for it. Instead, got 2 changeups.
Very surprised that he's pulling off here, where a sac fly right here gets a run in.
That's what you were talking about the other night about wasting pitches. That was a waste pitch.
But it didn't set up anything. Served no purpose.
Serves no purpose. Correct.
And he got it to swing at another one in the dirt. This time a curveball. And Peralta strikes out Ohtani for the second time.
All right. We very rarely get to say this. That was a bad at bat by Ohtani.
He did not have a good at bat the first at bat. Might be he's a little bit off.
Peralta able to perhaps get through this inning with only 1 run scoring. Second and third 2 out for Pages, who's grounded out and walked.
Whoa. Pages got off to a really hot start this year early, and he's kind of come back to where his numbers are, but still the home runs and the RBI. I mean, he's having a very productive season.
This is likely to be Freddie's last batter, whether he gets him out or not. Ciano Perez is ready in the bullpen to face Freeman, who's on deck.
He's going to lose the challenge.
It's a strike. So each team is down to 1 challenge.
It could have been an umpire.
No, that was a hitter.
No. I'm kidding.
I'm sure you would have been
so
a hitter.
good at it.
I'm sure you would have been a hitter's umpire.
Exactly.
Oh, I'd love to.
Getting ready.
I would have loved to ring him up.
I would have loved to have seen your strike 3 call.
You're supposed to protect the field.
Oh, but instead of the right arm, I'd have been my left arm.
What, do you think there are no left-handed umpires? Did you know that Casey Stengel trained to be a left-handed dentist?
A left-handed dentist?
No, I've never seen a left-handed dentist. You have to sit on a particular side of the chair.
Casey.
2-1 coming. Inside with the fastball, 3-1.
I'm a little afraid of dentists, so I'm 10 toes up by the time they show right or left.
You ever had a dentist with bad breath? Oh.
Pages chases a slider out of the strike zone to 3-2.
That'd be a person to avoid.
Oh boy, they can't hold your breath long enough.
And the curveball lifted out to left. Pages trying to time that slow curve, but flies out to Taylor. And the Dodgers just get the 1 unearned run. The truck of the Mets test drive their amazing lineup at your local Ford store. Gentlemen who have managed the Mets, who are in the Hall of Fame: Yogi, Casey, Torrey, Gill. All those people wore Mets uniforms. Today, Carlos Beltran became just the 3rd to wear a Mets cap into the Hall of Fame, joining Mike Piazza and Tom Seaver. Jeff Kent going in as well today, and Andrew Jones. You faced Jeff Kent, didn't you?
I did. In fact, I remember it only because, Jeff became such a really great player and now a Hall of Famer, because it was in Toronto. And I know he was in the lineup. I didn't know who he was. So I asked Dave Duncan, one of the best pitching coaches of all time. I said, who's this Jeff Kent? And he went into, for Dunk, who's very, didn't say a lot, went into a long talk about how this kid is going to be something.
Really?
That he's a high prospect. He's got a lot of power. So he said, even though he's hitting 9th, I think he was hitting 8th or 9th that day, be careful with him. And that's the first time I ever heard of Jeff Kent. Huh.
Of course, that was his rookie season, and shortly before he was traded at the deadline that year to the Mets for David Cohn.
I could be wrong, but I thought he played third base that day. Oh, he did?
Oh, yeah,
okay.
he played some third for the Mets as well. Owen Taylor held the swing, ball one.
It was 1992. I was in an A's uniform at the time.
That turned out to be a nice little.
It was nice.
Nice little stint for you.
Yeah, it was. And that year, you know, we just lost Game 6. Or, you know, we might have been able to go to the World Series. The Blue Jays did, and they ended up winning the World Series. But Game 7, if we had gone to Game 7, we lost Game 6. If we had gone to Game 7, I would have faced Jack Morris in Game 7, which would have been fun in Toronto.
Did you like pitching in the Coliseum, Oakland?
I loved it. Oh, yeah.
A lot of foul territory. Big park.
Well, when I pitched for the Mets, I always walked off the mound. Seaver walked off the mound, so you got to walk off the mound. But in Oakland, I started running because it was just so far. It was a weird thing. It's like it took too long to walk.
2-1 to Taylor. Up and away from Sheehan, who's walked one and hit a batter. It's been behind the count a lot, but the Mets have not been able to take advantage. And neither one of you would have played against Beltran or Hunter Jones.
No.
They came after you guys were done. Oh, look at that little calligraphy going on there.
Oh, nice.
And the final thought on that running off the mound in Oakland, I really appreciated Mike Norris when he used to pitch for the A's, and he used to run off the mound. So I said, if it's good enough for him, it's certainly good enough for me.
Mike Norris had good stuff, boy, obviously.
Did he have a screwball?
I don't remember. You know, one of my favorite was when I was in high school, when they had Blue Moon Odom and Catfish, and everybody forgets Chuck Dobson. He hurt his arm. He won 16 games and hurt his shoulder, and he was done.
Taylor chased the high fastball, and Sheehan has back-to-back strikeouts to start the bottom of the fourth. Connor and Joe go down to the farm to check in on Mets prospect Ryan Clifford on the latest episode of the Mets Pod. Subscribe and listen wherever you get your podcasts. Cheeseburger, 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 no Coke, Pepsi. Here's Beatty, who struck out his first time up. And takes curveball strike from Sheehan.
This kid has found his rhythm here.
He has. No doubt. They got to get him early when they're struggling. They're searching for it.
Freddie Peralta appears to be done after 4 innings. It's really the quintessential Freddie Peralta 2026 start. High pitch count, little bad luck behind him, and a minimal number of innings. And the question is, as the trading deadline approaches, and Freddie Peralta is fairly certain to be shopped, how do other teams look at him in terms of the ability to fix what's wrong?
Well, he's only a calendar year away from being one of the best pitchers in the game. So if you are a team and you've been watching him closely with your scouts, if you feel as though you can make the proper adjustment to get him back to where he was with Milwaukee last season, then you make that trade, because he's got health. He's throwing well. He has not missed a start. Not throwing well, but you know what I mean. Free and easy, not hurt. Getting a guy, hopefully, that can, with a few tweaks, maybe if you think you got the inside knowledge, then yeah, you bet on Freddie Peralta.
Well, for Freddie, this is his 22nd start. It'll be the 7th time that he goes less than 5 innings. And Beatty takes fastball outside 3-2. And the curveball misses for ball 4. Second walk given up by Sheehan. 3-2 curveball because the number 9 hitter's on deck?
No, Those are the things that really frustrate the Dodgers about this young pitcher. They know he could be an elite. He has an elite arm, and that he could be a more elite pitcher, except for mistakes like that. He struck out Beatty the last time on high gas. 3-2. Go after him with a lead.
Torrens couldn't hold the swing on a high fastball.
You know, today's pitcher might tell you that it's nonsense, but there is a way of pitching to the scoreboard. It's important to remember that.
That's why we have defensive indifference.
I know the win might not be important to many, but if you're the starting pitcher and you get a win, it's all good.
Yeah.
Starting pitchers still like wins. They're conscious of it.
Yes, they are.
They know
No
it's
doubt.
not the be-all, end-all, but they still like them. 0-2 to Torrens. That's too high. Hey, Jacob Mizorowski struck out the first 7 today against Colorado. It's a new Brewers record. Nobody had ever done that before.
Really? They've had some good pitchers
Ben
over there.
Sheets or somebody like that would have done it. Giovanni Gallardo. Jim Slayton.
So when did Burns strike out 10 in a row? In a different uniform? Corbin Burns struck out 10 in a row, right?
No, not to start the game.
Oh, start the game. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Start the game. Record's still 8, right?
Yes.
With Rom and Jim DeShays.
Did you say Teddy Higuera? Did I miss it?
I did not see Teddy Higuera, but that's a good one. Lefty.
Left-hander.
And Torrens tried to hold and stopped it in time. 2-2. Hey, the Marlins are winning, up 3-1 in the 5th. What a weird couple of months for them. Best record in baseball in June, and now 11 straight losses in July.
They're having a season like the Cubs a little bit. Very, very streaky up and down.
They're up 3-1 on the Padres in the 5th. And Torrens fouls one back. The Cubs have won 26 of their last 36. PCA is just on fire.
Every day it's 3 or 4 hits.
The Eastern standings, the Nats have moved past the Marlins. The Nats made a move. They got a pitcher, Conley Early, from the Red Sox last night in exchange for Curtis Mead, who gives the Red Sox a right-handed bat that they need. Torrens flies one foul. That'll go out of play.
Now Early's been hurt, and I don't know when he's going to be back, but that right-handed bat is big for the Red Sox.
I mean, if the Nats want to go for it, and they're only 2 games out of a wild card, they have got to get some pitchers. And perhaps they'll have interest in some of the pitchers that the Mets have on the market. Certainly guys they've seen before. Raley and Minter and Peralta. Maybe Clay Holmes. Swing and a miss, and Torrens down on strike, so she and fans 3 in the inning. After 4, 3-1.
He whips to deep right. That ball is out of here! Out of here! The Mets win the ball game! We talked at the beginning of this game about this potentially being an MVP showdown. For most of the night, it belonged to Pujols. The last shot belonged to Beltran.
Your Corona Lime drives.
Oh, I see what you did there.
It was a great game. Remember, Delgado hit 2 home runs. I think he had hit his 400th of his career.
That's right.
And then Beltran hit the game winner off Jason Isringhausen. That was our first year.
That's when we used to enjoy the long extra inning games. We still do. It just don't happen.
Cionel Perez on to pitch in the 5th. Through a scoreless inning on Friday night, and throws a fastball by Freddie Freeman to start the 5th. His numbers as a Met are much better than those. Only 5 walks in 22 2/3 innings as a Met. He's had a couple of blowout outings, but for the most part, he's been really good.
I've been really impressed. He has superior fastball, 97 plus at times, and that breaking ball, he's proven he can throw it even on 3-2 counts.
Another fastball by Freeman. Freddie had an opposite field double to drive and a run in the 3rd. Now 7 for 10 in this series. Just going to piece of that fastball to stay in. So Peralta threw 4 innings, 92 pitches, 3 runs, 2 earned, 6 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Lowered his ERA and ticked below 5, 4.99. I am corrected. 93 pitches. Dave Creedy's such a stickler.
Well, he just likes to correct you. It's one of his favorite things.
57 strikes, Scare.
That's all right. Somebody needs to. Two coming, and he struck him out. So Perez leaning on his fastball to blow away Freeman for the first out of the 5th.
Right there.
Yeah, with good hitters, you have to be aggressive. You have to go right after him. It's the only way you're going to retire him. And that's just away on that corner enough.
So now Max Muncy, who's walked and grounded out. The ground out drove in the go-ahead run in the 3rd. He takes a curveball outside for ball 1. Muncy did not start against the lefty last night. I should say in the first game of the series against Minaya. But he plays against most lefties. They will get a key right-handed bat back this week, the Dodgers. Kike Hernandez is due to be activated on Tuesday. And I know Kike is really itching to come back, but it really is sort of a shame, because if he didn't come back, he'd make some history. You see, Kike Hernandez has had 4 at-bats this season, and he's 4 for 4. And there's only been 1 player in history to go a full season hitting 1,000 with at least 4 at-bats.
Wow.
And the guy who did it was a Dodger as well. John Hale for the 1974 Dodgers. So you guys would have played against him, Keith. Mm-hmm. He went 4 for 4 in 1974. Played a handful of years for the Dodgers and the Mariners. John Hale. Back-to-back strikeouts for Perez, 2 out. So if Kike did not play the rest of the year, he would tie John Hale's major league record by going 4 for 4 for the season. Now, there are a whole bunch of people who went 3 for 3 in a season, but the one that stood out to me, Sparky Lyle.
Oh, really?
1971 with the Red Sox. Sparky, of course, great reliever.
Is Paciorek on that
John
list?
Paciorek not only was 3 for 3 in a season, but he went 3 for 3 for his career. Back in the gap goes Ewing against the wall, and he makes the catch to retire Mookie Betts. Beautiful play by Ewing to end the inning. North Row and the Amazing Mets Foundation are proud. Dodgers leading at 3-1. Emmett Sheehan, born in the city, grew up in Connecticut, pitching in New York for the first time. And he's got 5 innings under his belt with the lead, 4. And he'll face the top of the Mets batting order in the 5th.
And as Ronnie mentioned, he's found his rhythm. Everything's kind of falling into place for him.
Sunday afternoon ice cream. A.J. Ewing leads off, and the curveball bounced to first. Easy play for Freeman. 1 pitch and 1 out for Sheehan in the 5th. Ewing going up against the wall in left center to take an extra base hit away from Mookie Betts to end the top of the 5th.
Well, he's a player. He's got the glove.
Knows how to turn his shoulder and bounce off that wall, too. Francisco Lindor has driven in the only Mets run of the day. He was the second batter in the first inning against Emmett Sheehan. He singled in Ewing, who had doubled. Mets had a chance for more in that inning, did not get it, and they haven't had a hit since. And a check swing bouncer to third. Tough play from Muncy with the bare hand, and he got him. Wow. Max Muncy with a terrific play to throw out Lindor and 2 down.
Lindor just didn't get out of the box with that check swing.
Yeah, when you get jammed like that, get stuck in the box.
You just get they always stumble. That's the difference.
Sheehan does a nice job of hitting the ground. That gives Muncy a full rein, not only to get to it, but also not have to throw it over his head.
Heck of a play by Muncy.
Good stretch by Freddie.
He's like a condor, isn't he?
Wingspan.
There's Bo Bichette, 1 for 2, and he fouls away a pitch. So we mentioned at the outset of this game, the Mets are last in the National League in runs per game. That was with Juan Soto. The 21 games that Soto had not started before today, the Mets averaged 2.7 runs per game. So how is this team going to generate offense the rest of the year with Soto out of the lineup?
How many runs are they averaging with Soto in the lineup? 4.5 or so.
Yeah.
Okay.
4.4. There you go.
Well,
2.7 without.
It's definitely a big piece has been lost. That's for sure.
I mean, a big part of their game last year has really been root this year. The stolen base that generated a lot more opportunities to drive in some runs.
Which really doesn't make much sense because they've got a couple of young players who are much more capable of stealing bases than most of the guys. Cionel Perez will get a second inning of relief as we go to the top of the 6th. Tommy Edman leads off. Edman last time up pulled one over the first base bag. Looked like it was going to go for extra bases, but then it hit the first base umpire and caromed out to Carson Bench, which turned a double into a single. No matter, he came around to score anyway. Broken bat grounded to short, handled by Lindor. And Edman retired one away. 4 up and 4 down for Cionel Perez. The road ahead presented by Infinity. Braves are in tomorrow night for the first of 3. And then the Marlins are here for 4 before the Mets head out on their next trip. The Braves have won 7 of their last 10. And perhaps as early as tomorrow, they're going to get Ronald Acuna back from his latest hamstring injury. The Phillies struggling right now, having lost 4 in a row. The Braves have expanded their lead to 5.5 games over Philadelphia. It was down to 2 last week. Tucker reached on there by Jared Young his last time up. I don't know what to make of the Phillies. We saw them last week, and you know, they are not a lock to make the postseason right now, despite having such a formidable staff ready for the postseason.
I know the Dodgers were just at Citizens Bank Park, and talking to some of them, they were saying that it was a real kind of down series for the Phillies, especially defensively, which we saw glimpses of when the Mets were there.
The Yankees were there this weekend, and they've taken the first 2. Half swing, and he stopped it in time. 3-1 to Tucker. I mean, the Phillies are in the second wild card spot, but only a game in front of Arizona and only 2.5 in front of the Cardinals. The Diamondbacks are coming. They have played really well over the last month or so.
Torey Lovullo, to me, seems to really get the most out of that team each and every year. The one year the Mets went in 2024 was at the expense of the Diamondbacks.
They lost on a tiebreaker. Fly ball out to left. And Taylor hasn't measured. 5 up and 5 down for Perez. The Diamondbacks are in Washington today, down 6-4 to the Nationals. Nats got 2 home runs today from C.J. Abrams, who now has 7 in his last 7 games.
Wow. What a year he's had, an all-star shortstop.
Yeah, and James Ward and Luis Garcia.
Garcia's starting to hitting this year like they always thought he would, right?
I mean, he's a veteran player who's a young player.
Young player, yeah.
He came up when he was 20.
And I think that he's playing a lot of first base, right, Gary? And I think that has helped him as well. Second base, he was an average infielders. So,
And now they've got a great fielder at second base in Nasim Nunez. Teoscar Hernandez 2 for 2 today, 5 for 9 in this series. So a couple of guys who had been struggling for the Dodgers, Tucker and Hernandez, have really blossomed in this series.
I mean, it is real luxury to have a guy with 225 home runs hitting in the 8th slot.
And now Perez behind him 3-0. And a strike on the inside edge, 3-1.
I think Malachi Moore has had a good game behind the plate, in my opinion. He's been pretty spot on.
Two out and nobody on, 3-1 to Hernandez. And he tried the backward breaking ball and got the outside corner. It's 3-2. Teoscar's talking to himself now.
I mean, that's what I was talking about. The ability to throw that hook 3-1. Superpower if you throw 97.
Well, Perez has worked his way back to 3-2. And Hernandez takes strike 3 called, and this one he's going to challenge.
That's a strike.
Batter is challenging to call a strike.
Another backdoor breaking ball.
I don't think it bent around the plate. I think it's a strike.
Yes,
Call confirmed. Los
the
Angeles
Dodgers
without a
are out of
challenge.
challenges for the day. Still 3-1 in the 6th. Next Tuesday, July 28th, the first 15,000 fans at the Mets-Braves game will receive a Mr. Met on deck plush doll. For tickets, go to Mets.com/tickets. That's a Mr. Met on deck plush doll.
Where's no Mrs. Met? Plush on deck doll?
She'll have her turn. Jack Dreyer is on to pitch for the Dodgers.
Jack Dreyer, University of Iowa. Dad Steve Dreyer played in the major leagues, pitched in the major leagues for the Texas Rangers.
Carson Benj leads off and fouls off his first slider.
So
Emmett Sheehan threw 87 pitches over 5 innings, 1 run, 3 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, a hit by pitch. Benj is flied out and walked. Polanco and Young to follow for the Mets in the 6th. Dreyer comes upstairs with a fastball, 1-1.
for the battery, the catcher and pitcher, his dads both played in the major leagues. Steve Dreyer, Jack's dad, famous because he relieved Nolan Ryan in his last final appearance.
Huh.
Really?
That's a great note. Big crowd, beautiful day, Sunday afternoon. It's Hello Kitty Day in the ballpark.
Really? How did I miss that?
Ronnie didn't miss it. In fact, Ronnie not only saw that Hello Kitty was being featured today, but he did research.
I did.
What'd you find out?
I found out it's a campaign to sell merchandise.
Oh, gosh. I should have. Elementary, my dear Watson.
It's a Japanese anthropomorphic cat.
There you go.
And the kids
All
love
right,
it.
all right.
Inside ball 4 and Benj is on with a walk.
What's the definition of
That's an animal that looks like that acts like a human. Think Huckleberry Hound. Quick draw of the look.
Oh, there's.
Hello Kitty.
Oh,
I mean, very cute. Especially in her City Connect uniform.
they look like they're in a police lineup there.
Do Mr. and Mrs. Met get jealous because of the?
Well, think of Hello Kitty as Mr. and Mrs. Met's pet.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Member of the family.
Stitches on the head and all.
Well, those aren't stitches.
Whiskers.
Those are
Sorry,
whiskers.
whiskers.
But it's the same.
Same basic concept.
Think about it.
Pinstripe pants.
Mister.
Mr. Met and Mrs. Met, they work hard during the game.
Always smiling.
It's got to be hot. It's got to be hot in that helmet.
1-1 to Polanco, who's popped up and flied out. Polanco now 4 for 37 since coming off the injured list.
There they
Two?
are.
You want 2?
She does a great job with her mascara.
You think she has a makeup person? Or you think she does it herself? Polanco chases a slider out of the strike zone. It's 2-2. Jack Dreyer from Salt Lake City by way of Ames, Iowa.
There you go.
Ames, that's Iowa State, isn't it? The Cyclones.
No.
No?
University.
University?
Yeah.
No, that's right. It's Iowa City.
Right.
The university, right?
Yeah, I think Ames is
Iowa.
the Cyclones.
Wrong again. Brooks Raley up alongside Kodai Senga in the Mets bullpen. 3-2 to Polanco, and he pops one up into shallow left. In comes Hernandez. 1 out. So Polanco's struggles continue, and he's starting to hear it. Now Luis Robert is going to bat for Jared Young with the lefty in the game. Robert started the first 2 games of this series with 1 for 5, a home run on Friday night. 2 home runs since returning from the injured list last week.
Mark Breyer's coming out to talk to his left-hander because of the pinch hitter Robert Jr. Keith, did you ever, at late in your career, did you get booed in Cleveland when things weren't going great?
You know,
Remember?
that's just a blur for me.
Yeah, you don't even think about it.
No, I know all I remember was that guy out in right field with the big drum.
John Adams.
John Adams.
Yep, and no crowds.
Well, it's hard to get booed when there's nobody there.
But you know what? It was the beginnings of that team. You had Carlos Baerga. You had Sandy Alomar Jr. They had the beginnings of what that team would eventually got to the World Series, and they were hoping that I would be kind of guidance and help for them, but I was finished. That season couldn't get over fast enough. And Gary, when that season ended, it was Sunday. My car was packed. I got in that car and right to New York.
Did you play the last game of the season?
No, I was hurt all year. Are you kidding? Tore my calf twice. Finished. It was over.
Were you a positive veteran influence in the clubhouse for those young players?
I didn't have any influence. I didn't play. I had 100 at bats.
But, I mean, you were a great leader here.
Yeah.
So that didn't translate when
It
you
was
weren't
tough.
playing?
It was tough going to Cleveland because of coming from New York and the success that we had. And then not, you know, when you stink, you know, it's not fun.
It's hard to lead when you don't play.
You know, I thought going into spring training I had a couple more years in me, and I didn't. And usually the player's the last one to know.
Did you miss the media when you went to play?
No, of course not.
It didn't take you long to answer that.
By the way, speaking of which, a guy who might have covered you when you were in Cleveland, Paul Hoynes,
Yes.
won the Career Excellence Award from the Hall of Fame. So congratulations to him and to Joe Buck.
Yes.
Who won the Ford Frick Award. They were honored yesterday. Roberts lays off on the curveball, and it's 3-2. Robert, the tying run at the plate in a 3-1 game. Bench at first with 1 out. Tyrone Taylor on deck. 3-2. Fouls off another curveball. It's easy to forget with all the injuries he's had that Luis Robert is only 28 years old. There's a lot more in there if he can stay on the field. Seventh pitch of the at bat coming, and he just got a piece of that slider to stay in. This will be the eighth pitch of the at bat from Dreyer to Robert, and it's up and away for ball 4. So Robert works on a walk as a pinch hitter, and the Mets have the tying runs on base with 1 out. And Dave Roberts on his way to the mound. He's going to make a pitching change. He's going to bring in a right-hander to face Tyrone Taylor. So Dreyer faces 3 batters, retires only 1 of them. 3-1 L.
Scott hits it deep to center field. Beltran going back, going up the hill. Beltran falling, and he made the catch. An unbelievable play by Carlos Beltran, going up Towns Hill, 425 feet away. Spectacular play by Carlos Beltran to keep the game tied.
Your All-State Good Hands replay.
That's one of the greatest catches I've ever seen. He had to negotiate that incline.
Turned out to be a 17-inning game in Houston.
That's right. Evan Phillips in the game. He pitched in Friday night's game. He was not sharp. Guy that has a good cutter.
It's only his 7th appearance coming back from Tommy John surgery. So they're still working him back in and using him earlier in games than they have in the past. Tyrone Taylor up with the tying runs on base.
But he was only activated 2 weeks ago, so that's an appearance every other day. So they are rushing to get him back to form.
It's a big piece of their bullpen. If he's right, we'll get another piece back in a few days with Edwin Diaz. That's driven deep down the left field line, right toward the corner, and it's out of here. Tyrone Taylor gives the Mets the lead with a 3-run homer. The scorching hot Tyrone Taylor. 5 home runs in his last 32 at bats, and his 3-run shot puts the Mets in front 4-3. Well, he doesn't play that much, but when he plays, the man produces.
And he's hit for power lately.
This is the hottest he's ever been in his career.
So Phillips, who gave up a home run to Francisco Alvarez on Friday night, yields a 3-run homer to Tyrone Taylor to put the Mets in front.
Tyrone's a consummate professional.
His 8th home run of the year, but since coming back from the injured list, 33 at bats, 5 home runs, 4 doubles. Just been on fire. Had a 2-run double off the bench last night, and now a 3-run homer.
Oh, they're going to win the challenge here. That was a strike.
And he does a strike. So the Dodgers still have 1 challenge left.
The challenge is denied. Los Angeles has no challenge remaining.
What?
Challenge is denied.
Denied? No. He questioned it said it was a strike.
It was a strike. Oh, they didn't have any left.
Right.
They were already out of challenges. So the challenge was denied. I see.
Yes.
So it's 2-1, and Beatty makes it moot by grounding it out to Edman, and that's the second out.
Well, here's the bomb sinker, and he just dropped the barrel. That went way out, too. This was not a cheapo.
No.
This was a bomb.
The question was whether it would stay fair, and it did by a healthy margin. Taylor's hit 8 home runs this year, and 3 of the 8 have been 3-run homers. A memorable one against the Yankees earlier this year. Full strike to Torrens, who's fly down and struck out. So the LA area native trying to get the Mets a win against his hometown team before the Dodgers fade into the distance. Charge to Jack Dreyer in his 1/3 of an inning. And walk 2, they both came around to score. Yes, and there's swing and a miss, and Torrens is down on strikes to end the inning, but Jared Young left for a pinch hitter. Brooks Raley will pitch the 7th for New York.
Applause for Cionel Perez. 6 up and 6 down. Hands it off to the other lefty, Brooks Raley. See his numbers on the season. He'll face the catcher, Alfonso first.
He would, except that Miguel Rojas is going to bat for Alfonso.
My bad.
Rojas started the opening game of the series and a sacrifice fly in the Dodgers 4-2 win. So it'll be Rojas, Ohtani, and Pages for the Dodgers in the 7th against Raley, who pitched in the opening game of the series and gave up a 7th inning run. And a fly ball out to left. Barely moving is Taylor. 1 pitch, 1 out. If I recall correctly, Friday night really had the soft contact.
Yes. Two bleeders.
Hey, Oscar hit one to right field, I know.
Right, and Tucker had a little bleeder into third base. That was the inning where they botched the rundown.
Yes.
And rushing bunted. Here's Ohtani, 1 for 3 today. And takes a strike, 0-1. Ohtani blasted a double to right center in the first, then struck out twice against Peralta. And he reaches out and flicks this one to shallow center. On comes Ewing to make the running catch. 2 out. Ohtani, who was chasing pitches out of the strike zone his last 2 at bats, does it again.
Well, he took the first pitch right down the middle and then wailed on this pitch. Ewing got a good read on that one, though, because of the swing. He almost ended up in the infield by the time he slowed down.
So on 3 pitches, Raley has 2 quick outs. Now facing Andy Pages, who's 0 for 2 in a walk today. Dodgers 3 runs, 6 hits. The Mets 4 runs and 4 hits. Great job by Cionel Perez to keep the Mets in this game. 6 up and 6 down, and Perez is now pitcher of record on the long side.
Hey guys, real fast, that specific read by A.J. Ewing against Shohei Ohtani is something he has been working a lot on. He had a lot of difficulty early this year on the pop-ups in front of him that were coming directly at him. So what he had worked on doing is not jumping as high in his pre-pitch setups that his head doesn't move as much, and he feels much better about coming in on those specific batted balls.
You know, experience is part of it as well. I also think when you first come to the major leagues, what do you want to do? Not make a mistake. So
strikes out. 1-2-3 inning for Raley. Keeps it 4-3 New York. Sox jersey. He won his 300th game in, as well as his Mets jersey.
A no-hitter. I was there. I bought a caller.
And the newest man in the Hall of Fame, Carlos Beltran, received his plaque from Rob Manfred. A proud day for Carlos Beltran and the entire Mets organization.
Very nice. Congratulations, Carlos. Well deserved.
Josh Rawrich, the director of the Hall of Fame, and Jane Forbes, whose family has run the Hall of Fame for many, many years. Well, we were talking about Ewing and his setup before the pitch. Let's see if we can get a glimpse of it.
Top of your screen to the left there. Watch the little hop.
Keeps his head very, very still when he runs.
And also, too, when you do that little hop, and you probably just decrease the jump, it gets you on. That's right before contact. It gets you on your toes to go in, back, left, right.
New battery for the Dodgers. Dalton Rushing catching, and Will Klein on the pitch. Klein will live in Dodger history forever. For his performance in Game 3 of the World Series last year. The Dodgers basically out of pitchers. He worked the last 4 innings in that 18-inning Game 3, running on fumes, and got the win. 4 innings, no runs, 1 hit, and then Freddie Freeman homered in the 18th inning, and Will Klein got the win.
I just remember the last inning or so, he just went to his good hard breaking ball. Like that was all he had left.
I mean, we all know about Yamamoto pitching on 0 days rest in Game 7. He was ready to pitch on 0 days rest or 1 day rest in Game 3 if Klein had his arm fall off, which, you know, is pretty close.
Well, in fact, they said that was Klein's last inning. If it had gone one more inning, Yamamoto was in the game. Well done.
So Ewing gets aboard with a leadoff walk.
3 walks by the relievers who have come in.
Dodger pitchers walked 6 last night, and they've walked 5 today. And now Francisco Lindor, who drove in the first Med run with a first inning single. Love to see Ewing steal a base, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I guess especially against Klein, pretty slow to the plate. Rushing just in, although Rushing's got a good arm.
Short lead for Ewing was 11 steals on the year. And Lindor rips one down the line, but just foul. Just a little too much hook in it.
Hook.
You know, golfers know how to cure a hook. Do hitters know how to cure a hook?
They wish they could. The ball that you hook foul is usually because the pitcher's made a pretty decent pitch inside. There's nowhere for you to go with it.
Good ball bounced down to first and fumbled by Freeman, who lost his glove, gets the out. And Ewing is safe at second.
I got to take a look at that.
Well, that was rather comical. Freddie stayed with it, got the out, losing his glove in the process. Second time we've seen a player lose his glove in this series.
Look at him set to go. Oh, God, he never had it. And up his, it hit on his heel with his glove, and he lost it. Good recovery.
So Carson Bench loses his glove in the Friday night game.
And when you step and throw, that right foot tagged the bag to get the force.
No panic. So runner in scoring position for Bo Bichette, who's 1 for 3 today, at a base hit back in the first.
Whoa.
Good pickup by Rushing on the backhand.
Jeez, that slider didn't have a chance.
base hits from their first 3 hitters of the game today. Ewing doubled, Lindor singled, Bichette singled. Then they didn't have a hit after that until Taylor's 3-run homer in the 6th. Slider in for a strike to Bichette, and it's 2-1. I mentioned earlier that Tyrone is from L.A. Do you know that before today, Chopper hit to third, and Bichette will beat this out. Once he has nothing to do with it, but put it in his pocket. And Ben's got his second hit of the day. Ewing checks in at third, and the Mets have runners to the corners with 1 out.
No, he smells it. He smells that hit.
So first and third and 1 away. Carson Bench the batter. Before today, Tyrone Taylor had never hit a home run against either LA team.
Wow.
Dodgers or the Angels. And now he has 1. Carson Bench has walked twice today. Flied out 0 for 1. That's looking for an insurance run here in the 7th. And that one gets away from Rushing, and in comes Ewing with that said insurance run. Five to 3 New York.
Well, they all backhand, didn't try to get in front. It's that one knee.
Wow. It's a whiff almost.
Pass ball brings in the insurance run. That's allowed a run on a pass ball last night, and now the Dodgers return the favor.
Boy, a lot of pitches being thrown today.
Mets have scored a run in this inning without a ball leaving the infield. Full count to Bench. Walk, ground out, infield hit, pass ball. First game. Mom's hand is always a fun toy.
That's right. Thought he was trying to chew her fingernails. Yeah.
Let's go Mets.
Bichette at second with 1 out. Full count to Bench with Polanco on deck. And Carson goes after a curveball for strike 3. So Klein has his first strikeout, 2 out of the inning.
He's got a great breaking ball if he can get it over the plate. Saw Rushing fan on one. Here's the straight over the top curveball.
Keith, just for your reference, 262. That's the number of pitches so far. Yeah.
That's entirely too many.
It's Polanco, and he pops one straight up. Rushing coming back, but that'll go out of play. Polanco's hit the ball in the air 3 times today. 0 for his last 13. Luke Weaver getting ready for the 8th inning. Mets haven't had a lot of leads to protect lately. So Weaver and Williams are well rested, ready for their 8th and 9th inning roles. Polanco pops this one up in foul ground. And this is sail out of play. 0-2. Scored 8 runs total in their first 5 games against the Dodgers. So 5 today feels like a smorgasbord. Polanco tried to hold on a breaking ball in the dirt. Stopped it in time, 1-2. Slider at his feet, and it's 2-2.
Mets this year, Gary, 30-5. Well, they've scored 5 or more runs.
I must say those sunglasses look very sporty.
It's got a Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome look to it.
Three-two coming, and Polanco takes inside ball 4, and the Mets have 2 men on. Second walk of the inning for Klein, 6th walk of the game for Dodger pitching, and that will add to Keith's pitch count and Mark Pryor.
Malachi Moore.
By the way, speaking of Mark Pryor, did you see the Kerry Wood video?
I did see it with the
behind the back curveball.
I've seen pitchers do that. I've seen even players, baseball people, do that before. But a perfect strike from 60 feet, 6 inches.
That was incredible. Marcus Semien up for the first time takes a slider ball away.
Okay, was that at Wrigley Field?
I believe it was.
Yeah. So have Kerry Wood back on that mound.
Same mound that he struck out 20 in his 5th major league start, 1998. Ball and a strike to Semien. Started the first 2 games of the series, went 0 for 7. Marcus just 2 for 23 since coming back from his stint on the injured list. Bichette at second, Polanco at first, and that's hit in the air to left field, pretty deep. Back goes Hernandez to the warning track, right back in the wall. It's out of here. Marcus Semien with a towering home run. The Mets' second 3-run homer in the last 2 innings. Semien's 11th of the year, and it's 8-3 New York. Taylor a 3-run homer in the 6th, and Semien a 3-run shot in the 7th.
Well, Gary, you mentioned how the Mets going to make up for Soto being out of the lineup. Well, other guy's got to pick up the slack, and they have today. Fastball up and in. He loves that ball in.
You know, a couple of 3-run home runs late. There's always a win.
It was the old Earl Weaver formula: pitching, defense, and 3-run homers.
Yes.
On the ground is short, and Betts gobbles it up and throws out Taylor to end the inning. But Marcus Semien makes his mark. A 3-run homer makes it 8-3 New York after 7. All right, gentlemen, Mets with an 8-3 lead as we go to the 8th, and Luke Weaver comes in to pitch.
Yeah, one of the highlights of this Mets season has been the work of Weaver, who's just been outstanding.
We'll face Freddie Freeman, Max Muncy, and Mookie Betts as the Mets able to cash in on some walks. They have just 6 hits, but now an 8-3 lead. Freeman had an RBI double in the 3rd as the Dodgers built a 3-1 lead, but the Mets with 7 runs in the last 2 innings. So Keith was talking before about how many plate appearances he had against Steve Carlton and the like. Freddie Freeman, who's been around for as long as anybody, right? 36 years old. He has the most plate appearances against Aaron Nola, 89. The most plate appearances any hitter since 1920 has had against a particular pitcher is 380.
Wow.
Stan Musial against Warren Spahn, two guys who played forever.
I wonder what Stan hit off Warren.
I'll tell you in just a second. He hit 319 against Spahn. The second highest total for one hitter against one pitcher was Charlie Gehringer against Red Ruffing. Charlie Gehringer, the great Tigers second baseman. They called the Mechanical Man.
It was my dad's favorite player.
Paints the inside corner with a fastball, and it's 3-2 to Freeman. That's got perfect relief so far today. 2 innings for Cionel Perez, who's pitcher of record on the long side, and a 1-2-3 inning for Brooks Raley in the 7th. And now Weaver picking up the chain in the 8th. And a ground ball toward the middle, and a smother by Semien, but no chance to throw out Freeman. Nice effort by Marcus, but Freeman's got another multiple hit game.
Semien hurt his shoulder, his right shoulder, trying to shake it off. He couldn't get up.
They went a long way for that ball.
I mean, wincing in pain, like his neck or his shoulder or something.
Says he's okay. Max Muncy will step in. So Freeman with 2 hits today, now 8 for 12 in this series. 11 hits in his last 4 games. And Muncy skies one to center field. And Ewing barely has to move. Well, now he does. 1 out. Northwell Health is partnered with the Amazing Mets Foundation in support of the Sandlot Stars program, dedicated to driving access to youth baseball, softball, and t-ball throughout New York. Northwell Health, raise health. Well, it was too good to be true for the Marlins. They were up 3-1 on the Padres, but the Padres just scored 4 runs in the 8th and now lead Miami 5-3. The Marlins are in danger of losing their 12th in a row for the first time in their history. Line toward left center field by Betts, but over comes Taylor to grab it. 2 out. Ricky hit it hard, but Taylor was equal to it 2 away.
It's 2 balls by Betts. 2 balls hit hard by Betts. The one Ewing caught in left center field, and this one by Taylor because of his superior outfield skills and speed.
Yes,
chase that down.
He got a good jump. He gets good breaks on balls.
So 2 out. Freeman still at first, and now Tommy Edman. We're talking about the Marlins. The 1998 Marlins, that was the year after they won it, when Wade Huizenga tore down the team. They had 2 11-game losing streaks in that one season. They had another 11-game losing streak in 2011, and now another one right now that they're in danger of extending to 12. Charlie Barnes, the left-hander, up in the Dodger bullpen. Mets have succeeded against the soft underbelly of the Dodger bullpen. Against Phillips, who's still rehabbing, and Dreyer and Klein. Tommy Edman is 1 for 3. Tops one foul. Mets with a pair of 3-run homers from Taylor and Semien. The first time this year the Mets have had 2 3-run homers in a game. trying to put this inning to bed. And it's hit toward the hole, and Edmonds got a base hit. Freeman pulls in at second. So Edmonds' second hit of the game. And the Dodgers have 2 out and 2 on with Kyle Tucker coming up. Tucker's 0 for 3 today after homering in each of the first 2 games of the series. It's popped up, reached on there, and flied out.
Oh.
Stay hydrated. Hydration and sunscreen.
Oh. Ooh, close your eyes.
That's a lot.
You thirsty?
Good gulp.
Here's Spectrum high-speed hitting. Shohei Ohtani's double leading off the game. The hardest hit ball of the day. Harder than the 2 home runs. Ohtani might have had the hardest hit ball of the day, but his last 3 at-bats have been very un-Ohtani-like. Should get another turn before this one is over.
Average those exit velocities, 110, 0.
I have always felt that when they do average exit velocity for players, they should include the strikeouts.
Why not?
Right? I mean, those are at bats too.
Yeah. Pick and choose what you want to use.
Yes. And Tucker lines one down the line. Foul.
Cookies and these 2 home runs. He likes that ball out over the plate. That one was a more up in the strike zone. But he's looking to pull from what I've seen. He likes that ball at the middle end.
I feel as though when he had his best years with the Astros, though, he was more of an all-field team.
See, all field, all speed, great glove, just really an all-around excellent player.
Weaver ahead of him 1 and 2. And he hit him. And that's going to load the bases.
Nothing's easy.
So Dodgers trying to get right back in this game. Down 8-3. They've got the bases loaded after Tucker gets hit on the elbow.
Oh, that got Malachi Moore too on the ricochet.
So Weaver, who has had so many easy innings this year, having himself a laborious one. He hasn't pitched since Tuesday night in Milwaukee. He had a 1-2-3 inning that day, but 5 days later, trouble has found him.
And this would be one of the maybe only 8th place hitters you don't want to face in this situation.
Teoscar Hernandez is 2 for 3 today, 5 for 10 in the series.
Cutter is the important pitch you have to be careful with Hernandez. He hits hanging cutters, hanging sliders. That's his power pitch.
Dodgers have 3 grand slams this year, and Teoscar has 1 of the 3. Bases loaded, 2 down. Weaver will use the full windup. And Hernandez swings over a changeup, 0-1. Barrett.
Maybe he didn't understand that he was going from the windup, so it raised his ire.
He's now changed. No, he's going to go to the windup.
Yep.
Right. You have to notify the umpires what you're going to do. This is lower away with a cutter, and it's 1-1. Devin Williams on call. That's at a 5-run lead coming into this 8th. All of a sudden, it feels more tenuous.
Well, this is got to put this inning to bed right now. Good pitch.
Oscar takes a fastball on the outside corner, and it's 1-2. Hernandez lost a challenge in the 6th inning. The Dodgers are out of challenges for the day. Third straight hitter that Weaver's been ahead of. 1-2. And the dirt, good block by Torrens. Got it right off the chest protector on a bouncing changeup. 2-2.
Torrens is so good. It just makes it look so easy. It's not easy. Watch how he just flips that glove and just makes his body big and doesn't move.
He's very agile back there.
Enjoy watching him catch.
21 pitches. This is the most pitches that Weaver's thrown in any outing since the middle of May. 2-2 coming to Hernandez. Little ground ball. Tough play for Weaver. Off balance throw. Got him. Side retired. Gorgeous play by Luke Weaver to keep the Dodgers off the board. Athletic play by the Mets right-hander. Mets up 8-3 in the 8th. Left-hander Charlie Barnes released by the Cubs a couple of weeks ago and picked up by the Dodgers. He was in one game with Chicago, now his 4th game with LA. What a play by Weaver to
I'll say
save himself at least 1 run.
that was a big league play.
Brett Beatty leads off the last of the 8th and takes ball 1. Beatty's 0 for 2 in a walk today. Torrens and Ewing to follow in the bottom of the 8th. And a half swing, and he went around on the slider. 1 ball, 1 strike. Emmett Sheehan, the starter for the Dodgers, was really good. 5 innings, 1 run, 3 hits, but the bullpen has not been good. Jack Dreyer, Evan Phillips, Will Klein have combined to give up 7 runs in 2 innings. And now Barnes pitching in the 8th. Beatty got tied up. It's a strike. 2-2. Mets trying to avoid being swept in the season series by the Dodgers, something that LA has done only once since the Mets came into the league. It was in 2017. The Mets have already been swept in the season series this year by the Cubs. 0-7. And in shorter season series against 2 American League teams by the A's and the Red Sox. Beatty's punched out on strikes, and that's the first out in the 8th.
Fastball right there, Keith.
Outside corner.
Hit a good arm.
Now Luis Torrens is 0 for 3. Flied out, struck out twice. Charlie Barnes is from Keith's new neck of the woods. He's from Sumter, South Carolina. You know what happened at Fort Sumter, right?
I do, yes. Whole hullabaloo started there. Like around 4 or 4.5 years of it.
Torrens pitched in his home state for Clemson before being drafted by the Twins in 2017. Made his big league debut with Minnesota in 21. That's ripped to left, but right at Hernandez. And Torrens retired 2 out.
Let's take another look at that play that ended the inning. This great play by Weaver. Look at this. That's just fabulous.
Ronnie, would it have been easier for him to throw home?
It might have been easier for him to throw home, but I think he was just committed to throwing to first base. He just had it in his mind. Plus, right-handed hitter, Teoscar not that fast. All of the factors.
Heck of a play. I mean, it worked out perfectly. I just thought with Freeman at third base, maybe he would take a shot there.
I think his thought, because there's 2 outs, he's going to make the play where the runner had the longest to go.
Ewing badly fooled on a slider, 1-1.
And one of the few throws we see from pitchers that's on the mark.
That's just a really fine play.
I have to say that for the most part, while the Mets have struggled defensively this year, their pitchers have actually been really good.
They're really good. And that ball, when you throw that, you've got to aim it about 3 feet left of the first base bag, because it's going to come to the right.
Ewing has doubled and walked today, 1 for 3. In the ninth, the Dodgers will have 9, 1, and 2 in the order. Rushing, Ohtani, and Pages. And if anybody gets on, Freeman. Whoa, ball 4 as Ewing gets on base the 3rd time, having to demonstrate some evasive maneuvers. That is 7 walks by Dodger pitchers. After 5 last night. 6 last night. 1 was intentional. Sounds like 5.
Yeah.
When I first started doing professional baseball, my first full year pitching coach was Larry Jaster.
Oh wow.
And he used to go into diatribes about how intentional walks should not be counted against the pitcher, that they weren't really walks, and that pitchers should not have that on their record as a walk.
That's a good point.
I mean, it's a manager's walk. It's not a pitcher's walk.
I tend to agree with him.
How about when before you could just put up 4 fingers, it would count against your pitch count.
Right?
Right? That was ridiculous.
Well, my contention there is, if you're going to count the pitches on an intentional walk, how come you don't count the throws to first?
I mean,
say that again, Garrett.
If you're going to count the pitches on an intentional walk against the pitcher's pitch count, why wouldn't you count the throws that go to first base?
Oh, Garrett,
using your arm there as well.
Don't get carried away, Garrett.
Just tell me to shut up. 1-2 coming. Foul at the plate by Lindor.
I think there'll ever come a time where we ask pitchers, starting pitchers, to only throw 100 pitches, no more. That we will ask them to throw 115 over 5 days. That on their day to throw in between starts, you will be available, maybe to pitch an inning. I don't think that'd be too much to ask.
Well, I mean, if you had a 6-man rotation where most of the time guys are pitching once a week, that would certainly be reasonable.
Right?
I mean, I'll go back to the composition of the Mets bullpen earlier this year. I think you should have 10 starters and have guys who can go 4 or 5 innings, one after the other. 9th inning, 8-3. Talk about the full day of baseball and camp previews for the Jets and Giants on the Sports Night tonight and every night on SNY. Devin Williams on to try and get the final 3 outs with the Mets leading 8-3. Dalton Rushing will be up for the first time. Came in to catch after Alfonso came out for a pinch hitter. Rushing caught the first 2 games of this series, went 1 for 8.
Devin Williams' numbers, no on-deck hitter for the Dodgers.
Alex Call has come out on deck to bat for Shohei Ohtani. Now, I can only assume that that is in deference to the knee issue that Ohtani is dealing with.
Or trying to get Call at bat because the game is 5 runs down. Maybe.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Get a shower, get on the bus.
Rushing hits one off the end of the back. Curling past Bichette. Taylor gets over to field it, and Rushing will stop at first base with a cue shot single.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. That is a cue ball.
Dodgers will fly out of here after this game on 2 planes, one for the players and one for the coaches and staff.
No.
Serious?
Can't make that up.
Are they the only team doing
I
that?
think so.
Wow.
So the players can run wild.
Or not. That's your first thought.
Maybe it's the coaches who can run wild.
Exactly.
Well, the Padres beat the Marlins 5-3. Manny Machado the go-ahead home run. Marlins, for the first time in their history, have lost 12 in a row. A month after having the best record in baseball in June. Go figure.
See a lot of ups and downs. Don't you, Garrett?
Seems like more now than ever.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's a fact. It just feels like it.
0-2 to Call, his first plate appearance in the series. And he takes the changeup down 1-2. Well, barring a double play, Freddie Freeman's going to get another crack at a 3-hit game. He's had 3 straight 3-hit games. Pirates held off the Cubs 8-7 today. 1-2 coming. And Call takes strike 3 call. Change up on the outside corner. Got it.
They don't have any challenges, so he wanted a challenge. But go sit down.
Let me see. Oh, that's too close to take.
Nope. 1 out and 1 on. Here's Andy Pages, who's 0 for 3 in a walk. And he takes a first pitch strike.
It was one of the rare cutters you saw from Devin Williams.
Something that Devin worked on a lot in spring training this year, but has not really incorporated into his repertoire during the season. In a 5-run game, I guess that's the perfect time to do it.
If I remember in spring training, the first cutter he threw in Jupiter was hit for a home run, so kind of shied him off it.
Well, Freeman's not going to get a chance in a 3-hit game because Alex Freeland is out on deck to bat for him. So Dave Roberts getting a couple of his regulars some playing time here at the ninth. 0-2 to Pages. His bullpen has thrown 4 1/3 scoreless innings today. It's been the story of the Mets season. Struggling starter goes short. Bullpen picks up the slack. Changeup down, 2-2. Ciano Perez 2 perfect innings. He's in line for the win. Brooks Raley 1 perfect inning. Luke Weaver got around a bases loaded situation in the 8th. And now Williams trying to put on the finishing touches. 2-2 coming. It's fell back. Tomorrow night, the Mets will have Zach Thornton on the mound. 18 consecutive scoreless innings for the rookie left-hander.
Looking forward to seeing him throw another game.
He'll be going up against the Braves and Martin Perez, who pitched a great game against the Mets in Atlanta. 2-2. Struck him out. Got him with the fastball away. Back-to-back strikeouts for Williams, and the Dodgers are down to their final out of the day.
Good pitch.
Just really threw that by him. Supposed to be inside, end up on the outside corner. Whatevs.
So Alex Freeland will bat for Freddie Freeman. Freeland for Freeman.
I had my hand over my heart.
Home of the Brave. Tomorrow night. Rushing takes off. He'll take second on defensive indifference. It's like pitching to the score.
Zach Thornton's going to have to figure out maybe how to get out Ronald Acuna Jr. leading off the game. Could happen.
But he might be back tomorrow. Hook foul, and the Dodgers are down to their final strike. Oh, 2 to Alex Freeland. Up and away, 1-2.
I like that last little shot there. The dual 17s.
Ohtani, Hernandez.
Very nice.
One and 2 to Freeland. Inside, it hit the bat. A foul ball. Off the knob. Alex Freeland played most of the second base early this season for the Dodgers before Tommy Edman came back. Now his playing time has been sporadic. 17's everywhere. 1-2 coming. Changeup misses down. 2-2. Freeland keeps it going. Max Muncy would be next. Two from Williams. He struck him out, and the ball game is over. Devin Williams strikes out 3 in a row to finish it off. And in their final try this season, the Mets get a victory against the two-time defending World Series champs, powered by 3-run homers from Tyrone Taylor and Marcus Semien, as the Mets win it 8-3.
Well, Taylor remains hot, and Semien off the bench gets a 3-run shot. Both of them driving in 6 of the 8 runs. They got him in the 6th and 7th. A come-from-behind win for the Mets and salvage a game of the series.
Well, another game on the pitching side where Peralta could not go deep into the game, but this bullpen has saved the Mets time and time again, and by Weaver with a great defensive play, and Williams with 3 strikeouts in the 9th.
5 scoreless innings for the Mets bullpen as they defeat the Dodgers 8-3. Today's win is brought to you by Moomoo. Create a Moomoo account and join Winners Rush, where every Mets win is your chance to win too. Terms and conditions apply. Moomoo Financial Inc. Member